Awesome. So that would be on YouTube. At least I got that to see that, just with that laptop itself. At least with that. That's good. Now, the only thing is here. Plugged in, let me go.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have that feeding into through the mixer.
So that's one thing that I couldn't test without. So there's a meter. 1, 2. This one, the mixer, sending, the mixer.
Working on one. Missing one. I think right here. Okay, cool. All right.
Now, hang on a second. You hearing the tap, tap, tap? Okay, so it's getting off of this on the HDMI through the SDI. So it's not really, so you still have it, right? Yeah, so it's coming out of here. Okay, so we'll just leave it on there. Okay, we'll hear everything. So, like, for instance, what I mean is I have to go into this to shut off the headset into the So we'll leave it the way it is. That way you're going to hear everything. Well, thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
No. The only thing, well, thanks. We're doing this together.
Yeah.
Because I did in my basement and I did it all myself. Sure, I went into that and I have to shut this off into the headset to microphone. Okay. This is sensitive.
I know Matt has a setup that he uses out at rugby, so he's sitting right next to him, helping out with the commentating. But I'll have to pay attention to what kind of software he uses and how he sets it up. I know they use software upstairs, so I think the difference was I used the webcam setting to get up on here right now. It's automatically picking up on the video camera. Okay. Upstairs, I know I was using the streaming software, so there were some other additional settings.
Okay.
That needed.
Okay, now I want you to listen on your phone. I'm going to go up there and speak on their microphone, even though the music won't be here.
All right, I'm going to move over to the corner over here. I'm going to come over to speak, even though it's video feed. I need to bring the video feed back up. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome this evening. Obviously, you get the music coming at the same time, so you can actually hear me also. Yeah. There won't be any music there. Be quiet. Okay. Yes. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Welcome. Yes. Yes. Okay. Over here. No. Keep it going. Is that still? No. Thank you.
Oh, this is different than last year, Frank. Okay. A lot different than last year. Ooh, we're not gonna need flash, Frank. Whoa. Nice. I wasn't expecting all this. Okay, so we should take the elevator. Sorry.
That's what I tell you.
I didn't know this was here, Frank. Come on. Great. You guys did an amazing job. Okay, so do you think you need flash for this? I don't think so. I think it's in the same. You think it's in the same light balance? You use the same lights downstairs? $5,500. Do you want me to just throw this down? I'll just put it down. Can we turn off the flash for a second? So, oh my God, all of I'm kidding about this. Seems like the theme of the weekend. Football game sold out too. Yeah, okay, cool. Then we're the exact same as we were before. Upstairs. Then we don't need this too.
At this point, it's unplugged.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't need to plug it in. No, you got it. Yeah, when they're talking. Yeah.
I keep it off while people
Yeah.
can see this.
Yeah. Because obviously, oh, that is back in my head.
Oh, but hey,
Not-
It's 4.5. Actually, put it on for a second. Frank, if you get up there, I'll check mine real quick. Nine's a little dark. Too bright. No, I had it right the first time. 637 somewhere there. Hang on. Yeah, 6-3 probably. Try 6-3. Yeah, there you go. Look at this. This is what I'm getting. I had to, I was trying to, just looking back a couple of them might be a little, one or two of them get a little too, like this one, which I'm so what's the guy she's, I got weird shoes. I got look at this.
I was trying to get to the other side, and I ended up just not on the train. I don't think
So I'm gonna have you go upstairs. Okay. But I need to do different lens and I'll have to take it off and take the 500. Go back on the white spots. I can't, when you say, oh wow. Well, you don't think we should? Here we go. I mean, they're all.
Yeah.
And we can still stand up here. Get up here, no problem. 6:30 now, so we should. Do you want to do a
No, you changed letters again. Yes.
Get my.
Sheesh. See, Frank, do you understand why I do 2 cameras?
Don't you?
Being able to do it.
Either 100 seconds.
There it is.
Oh, you turned the light off. What about sweet children right off the bat? I did this one. That's great. Look at this, right? Look at the difference. From the she's getting. All right. It's like back here. Back here for the telegraph computer. Six around sneakers.
Sure, hands, I can't get to my bag. The yard in 2 minutes. And a single one in here.
You know, the entire time.
They'll spread back apart.
Because you saw how many people.
Or we could do that they line in. We could do that they just walk back here, stop, and face this way. Think I'll walk the camera. Everyone will have to wait.
This way.
We'll try it that way.
Over here. Over here now. Over here.
Okay, and then for me,
No, it's right here. So should I go back to? I should keep an auto white balance for this for making. And then I'll go to I'll go back to 5,500 for underneath.
Yeah.
Or try. Try a little. Okay. Yeah. Well, I tried to go down. If I need to, I'll flash on. Honestly, like I can go straight to the flash. I don't think we need to. I don't want the.
So they're gonna walk away here.
That's the initial. Realize I was a little. See, look, I got this. We're gonna have to check
Come down.
So these shoes, I don't think I'm going to be able to say that. I have this thing.
Yeah, I want to see it. Go for it. I just need one right now.
I'm the last one for them to even know that they started. Usually,
Oh, really?
I thought they were supposed to start at 6. So anyway, good thing we got it. When are they starting here? When are they starting? 7 o'clock.
We're trying to figure out where they're gonna go. Either you'll be shooting through the flag or you won't. You get the back somewhere in front, so we don't know. And then it's every single one of these people talking. We're supposed to be done. We're supposed to be done by the we have like 2 speakers after just right around one of these.
So even them getting up after having dinner,
They're doing it all while they're
9:30 or 10.
Well, that's when, and then, well, we're supposed to be all these speakers. We've done like 8.
So 8:30. Yes, that's okay. Yeah. Thanks. I'll be down in 15 minutes.
Like, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna worry about it. I'm so afraid. That was a good one, yeah. Oh, you want to do another tip?
Is this gonna be right there?
No, because this is why I'm trying to explain it. So are you guys going to come through and then go this way? Thanks. Okay, cool. All right, that's cool. Yes. All the bags. You know it won't be over here, right? Once they cut their thing. No. You're not following me.
Yeah, walk in.
So we can put it right next to this one.
Step.
So you put it next to this one.
Well, what I'm saying though is, why don't you have it right there?
That's what I'm saying. Let's do a test before you probably end up. There. You want me to get a hold of Frank. There you go, Frank. Oh, fine. You can get flash. This weather. I'm so good weather. Like, hey, hold on. Oh, you don't like it there? Nope. Ah, how about that? How about that, Frank? Doesn't trust you. You're like Bill and Cheryl. Here, I have.
So we made the cut.
Alright guys, it's gonna be tight.
So there's not there yet. Nobody's gonna trip over.
Okay. When you come in, I need y'all to have situational awareness. When y'all left face, 3, 4, 3, 4, whatever you need to do.
No, this is up all the way. This.
Does that make sense? Okay. I'm coming in.
You're not very tall. That's one thing. You have it on this.
One.
You got to crawl the way up.
I just you do. 4, drop. Go ahead and pull those 2 chairs out, just to see, pull those chairs out, and just to see how much distance you need from them. They'll be standing, so they should. All right, let's go back. We need it. All of us need to shift to Ari. Right? Everyone shift to your left. Just a little bit. You too. Everyone shift left. All right. This is good. All right, everyone look. You come in a little bit. Yeah, Hayden. Ari, come in. More. Yes. Everyone see where your mark is on the wall. Get some idea of it. All right. You all like this? You got a good plan? Okay. Starting just from on this back wall, we're gonna practice that. Okay. To get out, From the freezer. And you're gonna go to port this thing. On one. Alright.
He just mounted that one up. Nobody watched it. Because he was in
Well, yeah.
It's not a party here. You know what I'm saying? Sold out tomorrow.
That's on a screen right now, so leave it alone. But then when we start recording, let me show you something. Now here's the lucid, but even right back and forth. But most of the time we just all want to get there on the Zoom. Sometimes just stay back a little bit like that. Yeah, something like that. Just in case someone else comes up and get the other person too. But anyway, the whole thing I found it. It's brand new. I got that. And no, sorry. Great. So anyway, but anyway, so like there's a record button. For instance, there's a record button over here, but don't touch it. With these ones, just touch here because if you hit those buttons, you're going to have those menu on the screen. I just found that. So it took me a long time. So just go there, touch it like that, and now it's going 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is stop. And then I have 2 SD cards in here to do it. And then now we're also sending them to the screen. Just let it go. If anything happens, it's over. Ignore it. Forget it. Because the main part is also we're going to be on all the video screens. So, I'll keep that light on, whether the people like it or not. Okay? They're going to start probably within 10-15 minutes. So I'll just jump up there because I know where it's going to go. So anyway, they said it's going to start at 7. And right, so it's not going to start immediately. So it might start hopefully within the next 10-15 minutes. And then just hit the record and it's on its own. See the lens? See, go ahead and play with it right now, even though you're live on screen. Go ahead and do it. And then here's the side back and forth. So I have to figure out how to slow that down. This is brand new for me. But anyway, whatever you want, just lock it. But you go ahead and play with the zoom and stuff, and it's got like an auto focus. That's what got it right. We're 14.
Down here.
That's their old microphone system. So I think they already know what to do with the mic. So you switch on and off on the button. Don't bother them. They'll figure it out.
Be careful coming through.
How are you?
Got it.
Yeah, it's going to be outside. Thank you.
Honestly, I was on the other side of the street. So, and they come in here, and I was down here. Where is everyone? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It might be all the essence. It might be all the
Not a waiter. I'm not a waiter. I disappeared for an
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We'll be starting here in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Or maybe that was flexible. Maybe that's why I had
Will this get me to the point where I need to get something before we just for the? Oh, really?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Please take your seats.
Ah, shit.
Please take your seats.
I don't think I want to take that. I don't want to read that. Is that open?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're serving.
Okay.
That's actually not the other.
They send you this thing and you upload this. You have to stand up. What they may try to do is that's all I'm saying.
I'm just happy I'm yeah, I was saying, have you tested it out yet?
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. There's a new caller. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Julie. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats so we can hear colors.
Well, you might be able to at least get them coming at you. Heading towards them, because they're coming this way. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Can the bartender please stop serving and sit down? Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please be quiet for the presentation of comments.
Please rise and take your seats for the presentation of comments on your standing for the communication of class of 9652 quiet there. 72 as well, yeah, I heard your rounding off. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, on. Right. Base. Forward. March.
For those of you who do choose to pray, please let us pray together, each of us according to our own individual beliefs. Let us offer thanks for this opportunity to gather again as the 8th Annual Navy Rugby Alumni Association Hall of Fame and With You Dinner welcomes the United States Naval Academy leadership, military representatives, alumni, coaches, men's and women's rugby first-class players, family, and friends. We are here tonight to support, to honor, and more importantly, to celebrate the past, the present, and the future advancement of the United States Naval Academy men's and women's rugby programs. As a Navy rugby family, as we all heard about tonight, which we are, living the concept of being with you in so many different roles, we strive to encourage one another, learn from one another, compete together at the highest levels, and to hold one another up, whether in victory or defeat. Tonight, please remember that there is so much to be grateful for, despite the challenges we all face daily at this unprecedented time. Remember that we are all brothers and sisters, and let us remember the human in humanity. Let us triumph through each day, supporting those who need us, and in turn, appreciating the support and love of those who are actually with us. May we all live strong in whatever faith we choose to have. And as mentioned earlier, God does have a special place for Navy rugby players. So if I could be so bold as to make a special request tonight, please do look after the class of 96 tonight, especially Sean, because I know they're going to need that. All of this in God we pray. Amen. And one thing that's actually going to is please eat your salad because I gotta keep dinner moving. And it gives me great pleasure then to welcome the Navy Rugby Alumni Association Chairman Board Admiral.
Hey, Hey, you guys down there, keep it down. We got some official business to do real quick. I understand this is a reunion, and I know you want to get down to drinking and talking as fast as possible. So, I got to take care of business in one regard. In accordance with our bylaws, the Navy Rugby Alumni Association structure has to introduce and also elect our board of directors. So I just want them to stand up, not introduce themselves, and then acknowledge, and then we're going to do a quick vote. So the existing board of directors consists of myself as chairman, Tom Broadmerkel, class of 80, please stand. Ernie Blake, who's not here tonight, class of 64. Ernie, there you go. Sam Marone, where are you there? Class of 66, table 5, there he is. Okay, we're going to announce 3 new ones tonight. Shannon Kelly, where are you sitting? Where are you? Shannon's there. Dennis Murphy, class of 81. Shannon's class of 2000, that's right. And then Mark Bagliati, who couldn't be here. So, they must be elected by the general population, which consists of all of you. If you agree with these selections, raise your hands and say aye. Aye! Any nays? Ayes have it. All right. All right, real quick. You guys, I know the class team, when the teams get together, it's impossible. But listen, real quick. I'm also up here to talk about raising money. All right? And I know this is not a real popular topic. However, the money that we just recently raised over the last 5, 10, 15 years has made this program the undefeated national champions of the We can't rest. So I want to talk to you about, there's 3 pots of money. First of all, it is now a varsity sport. And as a varsity sport, Chet and the NRAA are picking up the costs associated with running a varsity program. But those are basic costs. In order for us to compete in the manner in which this team has to compete, was playing Cal or going down and beating Life, they got to travel. So when you contribute to the Rugby Excellence Fund, you're going to operating funds to build beyond what Chet is doing. And it is critically important for us to maintain what we're doing right now, because we are going to create a dynasty here. And it's going to be because of you all. The third pot, and you're going to hear about it shortly because we're going to come out with a strategic plan, is if we want to engage in facilities. And so I'm really excited that we're going to be moving forward in this regard. So please, when you contribute to this cause, please annotate on your contributions the Rugby Excellence Fund. Now, we've just added a billet to our officers team, Mike Langley of 75. Where are you, Mike? Please stand up. Mike is going to be our fundraising officer. He's got a rich history of it, and I think he raised like $70 million for the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. So we got a real pro, and we're coming after you all. So please, contribute. That's all I got. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And keep eating. Just try and keep it down. We'll try and get through this. It's not faster or funnier. It's just faster. So I'd like to take a second and welcome the flag and general officers we have in the room. Thank you for continue to support Navy Rugby, and thank you for joining us. Family, friends, coaches, supporters, brothers and sisters of Navy Rugby, welcome home. And it's good to see we have 383 in the room tonight, a new record, so give it up. You can keep working on that. As legend goes, back in 1823, during a game of school football in the town of Rugby, England, a young man named William Webb Ellis, with a fine disregard for the rules of football as played in this time, took the ball in his arms and ran with it. And from that legend, we now have the game of rugby we love today. In 1963, a group of Naval Academy midshipmen sharing the same spirit with a fine disregard of rules of rugby as played in their time, first brought rugby to the Naval Academy. We're celebrating 60 years of rugby at the Naval Academy, which is pretty awesome. We now have 2 varsity programs which are kind of constantly in the landscape here of collegiate rugby. We've got the women who are back-to-back NRAA Division I playoff champions, which is awesome. celebrating 27 years of rugby. And then we have the men who are number 1 ranked, undefeated Division 1A national champions. But without the legacy of our pioneering brothers and sisters, some of which are in the room tonight, we would not be here today. So I want to say thank you again for all those that came before us and continue to make rugby amazing. I want to send a special thanks out to the volunteers. It's a volunteer group that works for the NRAA, the board and the staff that Joe introduced a few of them. So take a second, appreciate that, and say thanks for all the work for the folks that are out there doing it on their free time. I'll also say this, if you think you have a great idea and you've got some energy, then call me and I'll put you to work. So don't be afraid, don't just complain. You're welcome. All right. It'd be hard to find a group of people who haven't done more for the advancement of the state of Navy rugby than the families and cornerstone members of our inaugural class of the Hall of Fame. Tonight they're represented by Sam and Jane Morano. Thank you very much for being here. I just want to recognize our previous rugby alumni presidents, Tom Broadmerkel and Joe Rixey. Thanks again for being here. Before we do a quick recognition of our Rugby Hall of Fame inductees, I want to take a quick moment to highlight another Hall of Fame induction. Coach Mike Flanagan, would you please stand up? Thank you very much. So to add to being part of the Navy Rugby Hall of Fame, Coach Mike Flanagan was recently inducted to the USA Rugby Hall of Fame. For 27 years, from 1991 to 2017, Mike led us to over 450 wins and a remarkable win percentage of over 80%. Mike has coached many of us in the room. We all know his dedication to the institution, the sport, and our team. And if I can speak for all of us who've laced up our boots and taken the pitch for Navy Rugby, I want to say thank you not only for making us better on the field, but for off of it. Thanks, Mike. Now I'd like to take a second and make my stand back up. For all the previous classes of the Hall of Fame, to please stand up and be recognized for our Hall of Famers. So if you take a second, you look, you'll all have the red, white, and blue pants. If you're a Hall of Famer, please stand. So again, thank you very much. We congratulate you. All right, gentlemen and ladies, please take a seat. And then we have, joining down the steam group, we have this year's class of Hall of Famers. So when you hear your name, please stand up and please hold your applause till the end. Chris Cleary, please stand up. Dave Long. Dave Long, there it is. Heather Mahoney. Ben Oaks. Jay Parr. JT Young. Tina 72. Tina 96. And Steve Logan. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. You have the seats. Well done, well done. So remember, the Hall of Fame inductees are all nominated by peers, right? So if you think of someone that should be up here with that group, then do the work, nominate them and get them out there for consideration. Please do that. We have 2 more nominees this year's Hall of Fame to recognize. We have our With You honorees and in memoriam inductees. Lieutenant Junior Grade Richard Bean, Class of 72, and Lieutenant Commander Dan Dewey Whistler of Class 81. We take this time to take notice of the fact that it's a unique kind of nature of being a service academy athletics. Because we leave school, we find ourselves on the front lines working with our teammates out in the world, operating to make things safe. Just like the many Navy rugby alums out there forward deployed doing the hard work to keep us safe. I think it's a test. The test that we see on the field, working together as a team with Navy rugby has always made us a better group of Marine leaders for our Marines and sailors. So to honor Richard, please welcome Shay Assad.
flags, general officers. I'd also like to especially recognize Vice Admiral Joe Rixey, a good friend of mine, and my two classmates, Rear Admiral Dan Mustacchi and Rear Admiral John Collins, for being here today and honoring Rich. Actually, to the class of a team of 72, there was nothing more important to us than making sure that Rich Bean, nothing more important to us than making sure that Rich Bean got recognized. Because he represented everything that's good and great about being a midshipman, about being a naval aviator, and about being a naval officer. I first met Rich Bean on the football field. And there were 525 of us who went out for the football team in 1972. About 100 of us were recruited. In the first week to 10 days, all we did were Oklahoma drills. And that's kind of how they weeded out about 400 of them. And at the end of all of that, 36 of us got blue jerseys, and 36 of us got gold jerseys to make the plebe football team. And I had the misfortune of doing a lot of that Oklahoma stuff with Rich Bean, because I played defense, he played offense, and also with my other classmate, Dean Flatt. But the reality was we kind of bonded. I was a city kid from the Northeast. He was a country boy from Hondo, Texas. All of his classmates and his shipmates and his company mates referred to him as Hondo. To me, he was Tex. And I to him it was supposed to be Arrow, but to Rich it was, hey, Arab. And the reality was, Rich played football and rugby, and was really, believe it or not, about 6'3", 220, 225 at the time. Was the largest guy on the football team. It was a different era. But Rich graduated, and he wanted to be a naval aviator. In fact, he got his pilot's license before he graduated. And before he was on his way to pilot aviation training, what happened was that they kept him behind at the Naval Academy for about 6 months, and he did some coaching. But he also was a liaison officer at several of the football events. One was up at Boston College, and that's where he met his bride-to-be, Georgianne. And Rich and Georgianne were married about 6 months later, and off to flight school, ultimately went, at that time, Lieutenant J.G. Rich Bean, or Ensign Rich Bean. Rich was an outstanding aviator in his class, and he became an F-18 pilot. And he, like all F-18 pilots, need to learn how to land on carriers. And Rich was an expert at it. But unfortunately, on one of his landings, his tail hook failed, and the arresting gear failed, and Rich died. And as we all know, when we graduate from the Naval Academy, we all understand that if we have to give our life for our country, we're going to do it. And that's just the way it is. And naval aviators certainly understand that. Ultimately, they did recover Rich's remains. There was no pilot error. It was simply a failure of a tail hook and the rest of it. At the wish of his dad, Rich was buried at Arlington Cemetery. Now, to us, as rugby teammates, it just couldn't be any fine guy. He was just the most fierce competitor you could imagine. But if you had a reason to talk to Rich, he was just a sweet, humble, kind man. On the rugby field and football field, frankly, he was just ferocious. And, when he was a senior, the most important thing to us as a rugby team, in spite of the things that we did accomplish, the most important thing to us as firsties was beating Army. That was more important than any championship game that we would have played. And when Rich was a senior, our first team, on the football team, we didn't beat him. And so he was thinking about joining the rugby team after football was over. And he talked to me, he says, "Hey, Eric, what do you think? You think I could help?" I says, "Hell yeah. There's no doubt about it." And I says, "And besides, we're going to beat Army. So you're going to be able to say you beat Army." And what happened was, we ultimately got to that Army game. And it was, at West Point, it was raining. It was miserable. And the score was 3-3. And each team was fighting as hard as they possibly could. We were down about, I think, maybe 2 minutes left in the game. Ball was on the Army's about 5-yard line. I tackled the Army rugger, and like most Army ruggers, when you hit them hard, they fumble the ball. and so the ball was on the ground, and it was hilarious because everybody was trying to jump on the ball. It was nothing but mud. It was pouring rain. And finally, Gino Giannotti picked up the ball. And if you know Gino, he has a couple of speeds: slow, stop, and reverse. But in this particular case, he started to go forward. And the Army guys, they were damned if they were going to let Gino score. It wasn't going to happen. And so a couple of us got behind Gino, and we were kind of at a stalemate. This is true. And Rich Bean got behind about 4 of us, and with all his might, just pushed us, and Gino scored the try. Now, he had our back. And when he was an aviator, he had other sailors back. And that's the greatest thing you can say about anyone, is that if you're an extremist and you turn to your shipmate, that shipmate will have your back. Rich Bean was without question one of the finest men I've ever met in my life. And I know my teammates feel exactly the same way. Thank you very much. I'd like to call up his widow, Georgianne, and his sister, Nancy, to receive this award and recognition on behalf of Richard.
Thank you for joining us, appreciate it. Can I please have Dave Ott to come and introduce Dewey for us, please? Almost done, folks, almost done. One more.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Dave. I am a member of the Class of '81. And flanking me are my wingmen, John Fisher and Larry Burt. We're all members of 27 Company, and we all knew Dan Lewis Blair very, very well. It kind of seemed odd to me that, yeah, I go up there and say something about Dan, but just, I know Larry and I know John. I mean, we were a wolf pack back then, and we've all seen the same thing. So, anyways, I'd like to welcome those that are with us tonight. Recognition for the General Flag Officers in the room, the Navy Rugby Alumni Association. This has been a journey, and the NRAA has been very, very instrumental in helping us along this journey to get Dan recognized and get his family recognized as well. So with us in attendance tonight is Dan's wife, Marilyn Brennan. We were hoping for a bigger crowd. In fact, I think I overwhelmed Joe Buena Vista with up to 7 at one time, but I can't believe COVID is just running rampant. Had an impact. So Marilyn will be receiving the award tonight for Dan. I'd like to recognize her classmates, Class 81s here in Mass. Fellas, it means a lot to me that you're here for this. And I know it's, you do whatever you could to be here. Ship things. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And it's hard to believe that. Like we just heard about Rich Bean. I started out football, went to track, and ended up on the rugby pitch. The guy that got me to the rugby pitch was Dan Lewis Blair. He made me see the light. So instead of throwing discuses, I got to hit people. That was wonderful. Coach Dewey Mateer, where are you, sir? Dewey was key in that. Dewey took the dumb discus thrower and tried to make a rugby player out of it. And he was successful because I continued on after Navy with Washington Rugby Club. I played for the Pensacola Rugby Club, and I started a rugby club, so it stuck, Dewey, and I appreciate it. And then Rutgers Hall. We are, in fact, a band of brothers and sisters. And I was here last year, and I saw the recognition that the ladies team had and the success we enjoyed this year with the national championship. And that's going to come back. I'm going to come back around to that here in a second. Because this year's win against California was payback for me. All right, we'll talk about that a little bit. In fact, Dewey might. 32 years and 10 days ago, we lost Dan. We lost a great American, a classmate, a shipmate, a son, a husband, a father, and a rugger and a dear friend. He was special. Dan was so very special. He found his way to the Naval Academy with the support of his mother, Shirley, known as Mama D, and his father, Captain Earl Lewis Blair, known as Big Earl. So like Big Earl. He looks like Larry, except he's probably another 2 inches taller. We all kind of got scared about Big Earl. He was Big Earl. And it also stems from an engagement that Shirley and Earl arranged with a man named Bill Anders. If you ever looked him up, he's an Academy grad. He was also an Apollo 8 crewman with Jim Lovell and Frank Borman. They were the first to see the dark side of the moon on Apollo 8. I had the pleasure of talking to Bill Anders and kind of learned about how that arranged. Senior year in high school, Dan was a football player. He went to Rutgers in high school, despite all the rumors. He learned it all while he was here at the Naval Academy. At least his mom assures me. But his senior year in high school, he was his parents went off to Norway, where his father was a naval attaché, and Bill Anders was the ambassador to Norway after the Apollo program shut down. It was a very, very cool conversation. But Bill was the one that helped endorse Dan and push him to the Naval Academy. Everybody was Dan's friend. The conversation we just had about Rich B, I saw the same thing. Nicest guy in the world. He had your back. You never saw him without a smile on his face. He was the guy you wanted to be around. He was particularly close to Larry, me, and John Fisher. And in fact, I'll tell you, Dan saved me from myself at the Naval Academy. Helped me get through all 4 years of fun there. But then I'm pretty sure, Larry, it was Dan that pulled me above the waterline when we decided to swim the Severn River our senior year. Maybe. But somebody saved me. I'm pretty sure it was Dan, because he was actually a lifeguard in high school. Am I wrong on that? Is it you? Okay, so we'll attribute that one to Dan. He was recruited as a football player. He played the plebe year, had a good season. He was a great plebe player. So, youngster year, he got mono, and he couldn't play. He was down hard. So he was recovering from mononucleosis his sophomore year. And so one of you guys recruited him, called him out to, might have been free. Somebody pulled him out and said, "You make a great rugby player." So I played his junior and his senior year. I did that out of opportunity, Jeff. I had that chance. I had senior ugly face in 35 years. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. But anyways, I'll be honest with you. I saw a change in Dan when he moved and started playing rugby. He was extremely happy. So he was a member of the 1980 national championship team that went to the national championship player that went to the Final Four. I think we'll talk about that here in a second. And so they never crowed about it. He was very, very good. After graduation, Dan and I went down to flight school about the same time. Before that, though, came a pivotal moment in his life as we were stationed at the Pentagon in Op 96, waiting for our flight school thing to happen. I don't know why we did that, by the way. Larry was smart enough to go to an aggressor squad in burning time. We, on the other hand, went to the Pentagon. Well, it was a blessing. And the reason it was a blessing is because he met her. He met Marilyn. And I'll be honest with you, I had been a lot for 3 years before Marilyn. I was like, why are you sitting with a woman? Let's see. I mean, we're not even through flight school yet. But he was sick. He fell in love with Marilyn. He went to flight school with me and a couple others. Graduated, got his first pick, A6 intruders, West Coast, it was East Coast. And then they got married. And they went out to Whitney Hospital. Tragically, Dan, before I get to that, his recognition is significant. Dan, Dan basically pulled back-to-back squadron tours. He was, went to the intruder rank for a brief period, got pulled into the Super JO tour. Went to Desert Exploring, fought heroically over 40 combat missions in a very, very hostile environment at first. And it got better towards the end. He was recognized as commander Naval Air Force's Pacific Junior Pilot of the Year in 1990. Dan passed away on October 10th, 1991, 32 years and 10 days during a low altitude training mission. He left behind his beautiful wife and 4 children. I never saw Dan DeWiskelaar have it that way. He wasn't wired that way. He was unflappable. He was a friend to all. He had your back. He's probably the most profoundly positive person I ever met and enjoyed brief time. And that was infectious. So it gives me great pleasure to present the With You Award, Hall of Fame recognition, Dan DeWiskelaar to his lovely wife, Mary.
Hello, my name is Dewey Matier. I was coach of the 1980 team, and the program has it cited as the 1981 team that we're remembering Dan. But it was 1980 when we traveled on a bus to Davenport, Iowa for the Final Four National Championship. And I would say this about Dan: he would play wherever you wanted him to play. He had multiple skills. He was athletic. He could pass, kick. So we used him to fly half. He played outside center. And when we went to the national championship, he was the starting fly half. And the next year, when we were trailing Army by a score of 10-0 late in the second half, he came in on an injury. He sparked a comeback, and we finally defeated Army 12-10 as the whistle blew. What I have here is something new. Last year, my class of 69, was inducted as a trailblazer for having completed the first full season as a rugby club. And heretofore, to that point, one person would get a plaque. The captain would get a plaque and memorialize the team. My classmate, Ed Timberlake, way over against the far wall, took it upon himself to get plaques made for each one of us. And he paid for it. Once I got my plaque, I thought, well, the 1980 team might be interested in having their own plaques. So with some organization and help from the Hall of Fame committee, we have been able to get individual plaques for that 1980 team. And today, with some special effort, the first plaque to be awarded by now. It has the name Dan DeWiskelaar.
So humbled to accept this award in memory of Dan. On behalf of our children, Timmy and Melanie, Dan and Nicholas for the Navy pilots. Thank you. And Shirley, his mother, who couldn't be here, and brother Skip, and Leanne, his sister. I just have to say this. Another time in my life, Dan was one of those exceptional persons on this earth. Like Dave said, he was always had a smile. He was a wonderful husband, father, a great naval officer, a wonderful pilot, and he's respected by his peers and his friends, as you can tell. Just thank you.
Thank you very much. Please welcome our women's coach, Murph McCarthy.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Woo! Hey, thanks everybody for coming. This event is always amazing. Special shout out to the man who couldn't be here, the man with the plan, the man who puts this whole thing together and works tirelessly, Joe Buena Vista. Big hand for Joe. Yeah, really just love it, and I'm excited that a bunch of the firsties get to be here tonight. To kind of remember some of the fallen, honor the past, and of course look towards the future. I think it was right over in that corner over there. A bunch of us were having a conversation last year, and it was like funny story after funny story, and then all of a sudden, Ashley Sullivan just like blurted out. She's like, "I love rugby people," and that's the thing. This is rugby people. We're all under the same roof. Great event. Love having you guys all out here. This is amazeballs. A couple of special shout outs. First of all, I would like to thank my wife for letting me come out tonight. Yes. First step to becoming a collegiate rugby coach is getting your wife to let you do it. So thank you, babe. Love you. I realize the kids got to get to lacrosse. They got to get to soccer. They got to get to cross-country meets. Most of the time while I'm at practice myself or on long bus rides. So thank you. Love you. So at the end of the year rugby meeting last year, we kind of debriefed the whole season, and it turned into kind of Christmas morning for the women's team. Because thanks to Mr. Gladchuck, we got our own trainer, Kendall Stahl. Stand up. Yes. She's doing a great job. She's doing the academy, so she's learning about all the nuances of midshipmen and putting them back together again and doing a great job. Captain Mickey Bressler. Yes, he's a 2012 grad rugby player himself. He brings a nice new voice through a fantastic mustache. If you haven't seen it, check it out before you check out. Beth Simmons. Woo-hoo! 2001 grad, two-time All-American. She's been great. The girls really, enjoy her presence there, and she knows her stuff, so it's been great. Ted Chapman. There he is. Yes, that's my right-hand man, Clemson guy, does a great job. First step to being a good coach is you got to care. Nobody cares more than that guy. Andy Kudelekis, Captain United States Marine Corps, please stand up. You guys knew just a matter of time before I got myself a captain in the Marine Corps as our OREP. But truth be told, Kelsey was part of the line of Marines that people know. Did I get everybody? I got everybody. Awesome sauce. So, team's doing really well. We're a little bit young. In fact, we've got 10 firsties, 12 second class, 18 youngsters, and wait for it, 36 plebes. Yes. Yeah. So the youth movement is underway. There is 12 freshmen or sophomores selected for Sunday's match against Mount St. Mary's, and 6 of them are starting. So we are young and we are getting better. I'd say every about 15-minute interval at practice. So couldn't be more excited about the future and the way ahead for the team. As far as moving forward, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. I really love what I do. I appreciate the support of everybody in this room.
because without the support of everybody in this room, we would not have the program that we have. So you guys are all well behind it. Well done, and beat Army.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. A quick adjust, a little audible on the calendar here schedule. We have the superintendent, acting superintendent, and Fred Kitchens with us this evening. It's crazy busy, as you might imagine. So please stand up and welcome Reverend Kitchens.
Okay, great to see everyone tonight, sir. See, I know you got your eye on me. Admiral Kilby give me eyeballs like he has for the last 20 years. Great to see all of you. Okay, so right now I kind of feel like the kid from the chemistry club that wandered inadvertently into the varsity locker room. So, but it is an honor to break bread with this group of champions, and I'm glad to see we have a lot of bread, because I would not want to see this group hungry, to be sure. So, really pleased to see all of you here. I see some shipmates and teammates. Pat, great to see you. Courtney, great to see you as well. Some people who made a difference in my life. So I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going to take a lot of time here tonight. But I just want to thank each and every one of you. I've had alumni from the men and women's team work for and with me at sea. They have delivered the values that they learned on the pitch, made a huge difference. I remember some of the great people that I went to school with who were rugby players. I'm thinking of Chris Haggerty and a number of other great folks from the class of '90 who made a huge difference in my life, who were company mates. So again, honored to be with you this afternoon. So I'm an English major, right? So my aide who helps me together. We've got a speechwriter who was the CNO speechwriter and a Navy SEAL, and he's the son of a class of '91 guy. And so he said, "Hey," I said, "You have a quote that would work for this crowd. I'm a little nervous after a long day. They're known to be pretty tough on strangers who come to speak to them, particularly those who are senior." And so he came up with a great one. He said, Oscar Wilde said it best: "Rugby is a game for barbarians played by gentlemen and gentlewomen now." So thank you all for taking it easy on the new guy. So I know you're not here to hear me, but I again wanted to come and say thank you. Thank you for representing Navy on the field. Thank you for the incredible philanthropy that has continued to make rugby, frankly, one of the great sports and cultural icons at the Naval Academy. That didn't just happen. That happened through hard work, dedication, in a place where it did not naturally take root. So that's something that I know from having worked and gone to sea with friends who this organization, this group, this team meant a ton to. So I'm not going to try to out-qualify Coach Murch and Coach Murph and Coach Gavin. I've been out to watch them play. I would just say the young women and young men who represent us, who represent all of you and represent your legacy, you would be very, very proud of them. They're making a difference, and these teams have a great culture. Culture is incredibly important. Life at sea is a team sport, and the most common thing that drives us is trust. It is the lifeblood of what we do. And all of you learned that lesson who playing with trust. And that's why when I go and look for somebody and they say that gent or that woman was a Navy rugby player, I say send them over here and send them to me and let's go to sea. So thank you for what you do. Okay, so I was an old speechwriter, right? Okay, again, you're not supposed to admit that in public or somebody asks you to do that again. But what I learned is that no one ever complained about a speech being too short. Okay? Never, ever. I learned that from Admiral Kilby in the front row here. So all I'm gonna say is, sail proud, shoot straight, thanks and God bless, and let's be Air Force.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you making the time to join us this evening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have just two more to go. We have our men's coach and director of rugby, Coach Gavin Hickey.
Thank you very much. I know everybody's eating now. We're probably sick of hearing everybody up here, so I'll make this very short and take a leaf out of our soups book. Do you notice everything? 7 years ago, I stood up here and said that we have something that no other team in the country has. We have midshipmen. And 7 years later, here we are standing here as undefeated national champions and two-time. And none of us could be here without you. So I just want to very quickly touch on three things that help us every single day. Three critical things that we need to operate on a day-to-day basis. First and foremost is the midshipmen of the United States Naval Academy. What you might not understand is the commitment that these young men and women give every single day. We train 5 days a week over the BSc, plus 4 times at lunchtime, plus a game on Saturday. They have to balance that with the workload at the United States Naval Academy, their academics, first and foremost. Midshipmen here will always hear me saying midshipmen first because that's what we are. And then any relationships they might have, any other social affairs they might have, that all comes third, fourth to rugby. The commitment that these young men and women show to the cause is unbelievable. And because of that commitment that we've been so successful. So to all midshipmen in here right now, thank you very much. The second thing we need is staffing. It's no coincidence that on our men and women's side that we've been propelled to success on our women's side with a full-time hire of Murph McCarthy and his staff. On our men's side, it coincided with the coming on board of Coach James Willicks, Lieutenant Dallas Elliston, who come on the men's side and have propelled our program forward. So to our coaches, thank you very much. Looking down at my table there, I just want to say a quick shout and copy Murph a little bit here is it's not just about the coaches and support staff around that. Major Jason Redder as our O-Rep, Connie Joshua Castillo as our E-Rep. We're very, very, very fortunate to have our senior SEAL on the yard, Captain Frankie, as a very valuable member of this team, so thank you, sir. Our athletic trainer, Terry Carmack. And then 3 phenomenally important women. Michaela Elliston, thank you so much for letting her husband do what he does. Winter Willicks, thank you so much for taking the chance to come in the Naval Academy. And of course, my own wife, Jessica Hickey, who is trying to figure out how to raise 3 young kids and allow me to do what I do, and also works at the Naval Academy herself as well. It's been a balancing act. Jess, thank you so much for having me. And the final part of that trilogy that we need is your support. We would not have had the success that we've had over the last couple of years, particularly last year, without your support. Believe it or not, it is critical to our ongoing pursuit of annual excellence. So thank you all so much for everything you've done. Our soup, a moment ago, just mentioned culture. We were very fortunate on our men's side yesterday to have Commandant of Midshipmen, Commandant McDonough, come over and visit us at practice. And he spoke to the team, and his words were far-reaching. And I've heard Captain Frankie explain to our previous
Superintendent Sean Buck, that we are the exemplar of varsity athletes and midshipmen in the Naval Academy. And our Don yesterday came over and spoke about our culture being so good within our rugby team that he wants our ruggers to go back to the hall and spread our culture within the hall. We talk about our culture a lot. It means a lot to us. It's vital. It's always midshipmen first, rugby players second. And when we really dial down to the growth of our midshipmen, it's very little to do with rugby. It's just a tool to help them become the best midshipmen and future officers and leaders in the Marine Corps and in the Navy. And it's a blessing to be able to do that. So from all of us, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for everything. Being in Houston last year with home view was just out of this world. To our Hall of Fame inductees, thank you very much. And you're part of a very prestigious group. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for everything you've done. Be there for us.
All right, thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. We've talked about it a little bit before, right? We spend our professional lives trying to find the little fractions of inches or the little fractions of percent that make us better than our enemy. Or out there in the Navy Marine Corps. The same thing has to happen here with Navy Rugby in terms of trying to make little incremental gains to make us champions kind of professionally, right? That's the idea. We're waiting on one more speaker, but before we do that, I want to take a second, please. Please join me in thanking the staff that's led by Cheryl Hingo. So last year, staff, but thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for serving us and taking care of us tonight. Murph, as he's apt to do, stole my thunder. So thanks again to Joe Buenavista. I'm not sure if you saw, he wasn't able to make it because of a family tragedy at home, but that didn't stop him. He's on the West Coast. He's on an iPad. I'm not sure if you noticed when he checked in, he's still like rocking it from 3 time zones away and 3,000 miles away. It's an absolute labor of love. It's super impressive to watch what Joe does every year. So whenever you see him next, please say thank you again to Joe Buenavista. The second hardest man in the room, our hardest man working this evening, is Rob Sinran with the Hall of Fame stuff. So again, we wouldn't be here without him. It's a huge thing that he even kept the lightning away so we can keep ourselves going on this stuff. Take a second. If I know we've not ever had this, and when I was playing, the Parents Club wasn't really a thing. But in the center of your table, there's a flyer for the Parents Club fundraiser with the blankets. Some of you already purchased those. It's an amazing kind of element to Navy Rugby that both men and women's Parents Clubs support the teams. It's very much in line with the culture of rugby of going out and kicking each other's teeth in on the pitch, and then the Parents Clubs will put out these great spreads for both teams to have a moment of fellowship and bonding afterwards. It's a very cool thing. I think it's critical to the rugby culture and what we love about our sport. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. The men's match is at 10 a.m. So, you can either push through the evening or take it easy tonight, one or the other. Then the football games at noon, then the ladies will take on, and tomorrow we're playing for the Lieutenant Colonel Shea Memorial Cup. I know a lot of us in the room know Colonel Shea. He was one of my coaches, one of my instructors. Probably wouldn't have passed Double E without him. And check that, I would not have passed Double E without him. But we honor him tomorrow. We want to keep the Shea Cup and trifle home back here in Annapolis, Maryland. And enjoy your dinner. We have one more speaker later.
Yes. Then we just show up. We just got one more. I'm gonna go grab few other things. Everything's packed up. Except for just you and me, this, and that's it.
You guys done that for the next speaker today?
Just hanging inside because they're not going to be finished until about 9 What time is it now?
it's real. I know about it. You're missing about the cat's not moving. Thank you very much. Yes, right here, right here.
Thanks, man. Appreciate all the
I know, that's why I'm like,
We see Frank Frankie.